Take a pit stop for all things NASCAR with the Four Tire Change podcast. Here is your host, Dawson Iserlo.
It's the Four Tire Change, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Dawson Iserlo back with you as we move from the round of 16 to the round of 12. We have made it through one round of the playoffs. 4 drivers, of course, have been eliminated, and 12 still in the chase for the, I guess I shouldn't say the chase, right? Because it's not the chase for the cup anymore, but still in the quest to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship. Bristol was awesome. I mean, Bristol was actually what we wanted it to be, or at least what I wanted it to be. Tire wear, drama, cars, wrecking as a result, and then, cut line drama as well. You didn't have a ton of cut line stuff because a lot of the drivers were already safe. And, because of the struggles of like Josh Berry, who just literally set the bar for the worst possible playoff appearance ever. I mean, it was completely awful for him, and not all his fault. Like, definitely some bad luck factored in to that. But then SVG struggles. Like, he wasn't really close on points there in the end as well, and neither was Austin Dillon. So anyway, the playoff point line bubble ended up being a little bit less dramatic. But then at the end, all of a sudden, Austin Cindric, it seems like he's good. And then at the last second, you start to have the worries where Cindric has an issue, and now it's like, wait a minute, this could flip everything around. So, ultimately, you take a look at it. The new cutoff line, of course, is going to be at 8. So you'll have 8 drivers that move on to the next round. This round of as far as the schedule is concerned, starting at New Hampshire, ending at the Roval is fascinating. And also, for the SVG fans, it's like, man, if we knew it, if he could just get through the round of 16, all of a sudden you get through the round of 12, you feel great about your chances to win at the Roval, and still do feel great about his chances to win there. But now, of course, it wouldn't matter as far as the playoffs are concerned. So let's take a look at where these standings are once you reset and you get all the points figured out, right? Austin Cindric makes it in. He avoids that, near disaster at the end there. Alex Bowman is the driver sent home in addition to Dylan Van Gisbergen and Josh Berry. So Cindric, Logano, Chastain, and Reddick are the drivers who will start below the cut line, right? Now we know that's not all that significant because the point totals, it's not by much. -1 is Cindric, -2 is Logano, -2 is Chastain, -3 is Reddick. Now, when you look at the top of the standings here, Denny Hamlin's plus 26, William Byron 24, Larson 24, Bell 20, and Blaney 19. Those 5 drivers are the ones who I think kind of have a mulligan in their back pocket, right? For those 5, a bad finish at New Hampshire does not necessarily throw the playoffs away for them, right? And even a DNF. Now, it makes the rest of their second round a whole lot more difficult, right? You'll have to go and get results and get finishes, especially at the Roval, a place where some chaos can happen. But the point is, you're not totally done for if you have a bad race. That next group of Briscoe, Elliott, and Bubba Wallace, who all start above the cut line, they've got the pressure on right away. Plus 10 is Briscoe, so he's in a little bit of a different situation. But Elliott's only plus 5, and Bubba Wallace is only plus 1. So Bubba, basically is starting in the same category as your Austin Cindrics and your Tyler Reddicks, right? I think it becomes really interesting because Bubba's done a great job points racing. And he and Tyler Reddick, who are both in the playoffs, coincidentally enough, right? All the drama going on between NASCAR and 2311, they've got both their drivers in this. Like I talked about it last week, Bubba's been better than Reddick has so far in these playoffs. So him sitting in that 8 spot, only plus 1, if he carries that momentum that they've had, and again, you're going to New Hampshire, a place that somewhat similar package, and you expect some of the drivers who had a lot of speed a couple of weeks ago, when you talk about racing at a place like Richmond at the tail end of the regular season, and then you talk about, the way that the playoffs started when a racetrack at Darlington and in WWT, maybe there's something there. So I think it's interesting, and I think Bubba Wallace has a good chance to make it through to the round of 8. And if I had to make a pick right now, I would have him going through. One of the drivers that I think might surprise people that I'd pick to miss this next round is Chase Elliott. I just haven't seen it, and I thought the light was going to go off at some point for the 9 team. I thought they were going to have kind of that big moment, and they haven't had it. And I know he's been good at road courses, but it's been a long time since he's won one of those races. So would he have can he have a good finish at the Roval, and can that come off of some good stuff in the previous 2? Sure, it's possible. But I'm actually picking Elliott to miss the next round of the playoffs. My picks here, this is how I'm going to do it for the next round as a whole. So the drivers who are already technically below that cut line, I think 3 of them will ultimately get eliminated. I'm not seeing it with Austin Cindric, although maybe that'll age poorly because he's another one who could certainly gain some valuable points at the road course. But I have Austin Cindric missing out. I do have Joey Logano missing out as well. And Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain had a very quiet first round of the playoffs, but maybe that was a good thing. because he found a way to do what he had to do, get the points necessary, and move on. I think his luck runs out here. Tyler Reddick is the guy who's below the cut line that I have making it, with Elliott then being the one that falls below. As of now, it's an 8-point difference. Elliott's +5 to the cut line, Reddick's -3. But I think Reddick's going to run that much better. I think he's kind of proven it to you time and time again. Now, I know it's been a weird year with him with the lack of wins, but I think he finds some of that speed. And I actually have both the 2311 cars making it into the round of 8. And how fascinating would that be with all the circumstances around NASCAR that we just discussed? So that's what I have. As far as New Hampshire this week, a track that, it's tough. Sometimes you get some anomaly winners there. But for the most part, I mean, Joe Gibbs Racing was just dynamic in that first round of the playoffs. You talk about Chase Briscoe, Danny Hamlin, and Christopher Bell, all 3 of the wins coming from Joe Gibbs Racing cars. I think they kind of keep that momentum going. And so I'm not going to jump out and say Ty Gibbs completes it, makes it 4 for 4 here. Of course, not a playoff driver. I think it's Denny Hamlin who continues to be a man on a mission. And how much pressure would that take off if Denny Hamlin got himself to the round of 8 already and added those 5 more playoff points? That'll be so valuable when you're trying to get to Phoenix or Homestead, as we have the reshuffling of Phoenix this year and then Homestead moving into the future. But I think it's going to be interesting, man. I think that 11 team, is this finally the year? Starting to feel like it could be. Not there yet. Starting to think maybe it could be. I'll take the 11 team, Denny Hamlin, to win at New Hampshire on Sunday. All right, appreciate everybody. Like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying it. We'll continue to roll through the NASCAR playoffs here. It's the 4 Tire Change, ESPN _SWLA. Make sure you subscribe.